Alright, welcome back to the show. Mark here, ready to dive into some cool tech. Maybe a little less robot-sounding tech, but hey.
Chuckles. And Jenny, equally ready, maybe slightly wary of robot overlords after that last episode. Mark, I hear you've been digging into what AIC was up to at the NAB show this year. Big names, big tech.
Oh man, have I. AIC, the folks who make some serious hardware for data centers, they were front and center at NAB. Which makes sense, because media and entertainment, they generate vast times amounts of data. Like mountains of zeros and ones.
Vast is an understatement. I mean, think about 8K video files. Just one uncompressed minute must be enormous. We're talking terabytes per minute for some scenarios. So what kind of problems are AIC's solutions specifically tackling for broadcasters and studios? Beyond just needing space, I assume?
Right, it's not just storing it, it's being able to do times things with it quickly, efficiently. AIC is focusing on two main things. Really high density storage, so you can cram a ton of data into a small footprint. Space is pricey in a Hollywood data center, And then, this is the cool part, servers purpose-built for AI workloads.
Okay. High-density storage makes immediate sense for media archives, backups, things like that, just hoarding all the pixels. But AI servers for broadcast? What kind of AI tasks are we talking about in that world?
That's where it gets interesting. They're targeting stuff like real-time video analytics. Imagine automatically tagging every object in a scene, identifying actors as they appear, transcribing dialogue on the fly, picking out brands. All of that requires serious processing power at the edge, like really close to where the video signal is being ingested and processed.
Okay, at the edge is a key phrase there. My understanding is that means processing the data faster without sending everything back to a massive central data center somewhere else across the country, which adds lag. Is that right?
Exactly. For something like live broadcasting, streaming sports, a live event, latency is the enemy, right? You need those insights, or automated actions, times now. Not after a few seconds of travel time. And that's where one of AIC's star players comes in that they were showcasing. The EB202 CPUG server.
The EB202 CPUG. That does sound like a robot name. Or perhaps a secret government project code. What makes this particular server special for this edge AI work?
A bit of both, maybe. So it's a compact server, just 2U, that's 2 rack units high, about 3.5 inches. But here's the kicker. It's specifically built for AI inference, meaning running AI models to perform tasks. And it does that in a collaboration with a company called Unigen, using something called Halo-8 accelerators.
Halo-8 accelerators. I'm guessing those are specialized chips designed just for thinking really fast about AI tasks?
Precisely. Halo specializes in AI processors that are efficient, especially for these edge applications where power and heat are considerations. In the EB202, you get 8 Unigen modules, and each of Asterisk, those packs dual Halo-8 chips. Unigen calls their module the Biscotti E1S, because everything needs a code name, right?
Right. Biscotti. Sounds edible, but it's accelerating AI. So you have 8 modules, each with 2 AI processors. That sounds like a considerable amount of compute power packed into a relatively small footprint.
It is. And the performance numbers they're putting out are notable. They're claiming over 400 TOPS of performance, tera operations per second, and on a standard benchmark like ResNet 50, which is used for image recognition, they saw something like 21,500 frames per second processing. That's quite zippy.
Okay. 21,500 frames per second? I can barely blink that fast. So these servers are designed to essentially watch video streams and identify things, perform actions, all in nearly real time using AI?
Yep. Think about automated quality control, flagging issues instantly, or finding specific clips based on visual cues or audio in mere moments, enhancing content discovery for viewers by automatically tagging genres or themes. All powered by this kind of processing density at the edge.
And all while being compact? That feels important for data centers where space is expensive and always at a premium.
Hugely important. Every rack unit counts when you're scaling up to handle massive volumes of media. And then you need somewhere to put all that original video, plus the analyzed data, right? That's where their high-density storage solution comes in, complementing the AI servers. They were showing off their the 4th of August 2024 X system.
J2024. Another cool name. Is that one of their JBODs, their just a bunch of disks systems?
Exactly. AJBOD. But this isn't just any bunch of disks you'd find in a desktop. This J2024 system is designed for high density, again in a 2U form factor, specifically optimized for archiving, backup, and nearline storage for these large media files.
Okay, so you have data coming in, being processed by the AI servers doing their magic, and then you need massive storage to keep everything, from the raw footage to the analyzed metadata. It sounds like AIC is presenting a more complete workflow solution, not just isolated boxes.
That seems to be the message from AIC, according to their CEO, Michael Liang. He was quoted talking about how NAB showcases their ability to power demanding media and entertainment environments that require dense storage and *AI processing capabilities working hand in hand.
So it's not just about the individual components being powerful, but how they integrate and work together to support these modern, sophisticated media workflows.
That's it. And that storage density is a key part of the equation for media companies. We're talking solutions designed to give you over 200 terabytes per rack unit for storage. That starts to be significant when you're dealing with petabytes, which is common in this industry.
200 terabytes per rack unit in a J2024. That density is hard to even visualize. It's like trying to picture how many books fit in a tiny library. So we've got the AI power, doing things like real-time tagging and analysis, and then the sheer storage capacity for archiving and accessing everything.
Right. And the Halo accelerators being low power is also important. Less power means less heat generated, which simplifies cooling in these dense server racks. Efficiency all around is a constant goal.
Efficiency and energy consumption are becoming bigger and bigger considerations for data centers, not just from a cost perspective, but an environmental one too. It sounds like AIC is addressing that with their hardware designs.
Definitely. And looking ahead, I think we'll see more of this integration, more specialized hardware specifically designed for media workflows, combining compute power and storage in optimized ways. It's an interesting time for the infrastructure behind all the movies and shows we watch. Though, implementing this kind of tech isn't without its potential snags.
Ah, yes, the flip side. Let's talk about that. While these solutions sound impressive, are there potential drawbacks? For smaller studios, for instance?
Good point. While powerful, these high-density storage and specialized AI servers can come with a significant upfront investment. That could be a barrier for smaller media companies or independent creators operating on tighter budgets compared to established players.
So the cost might be higher than, say, relying purely on cloud-based solutions, which can sometimes offer more flexible pricing models for smaller-scale operations?
Exactly. The total cost of ownership, considering hardware, power, cooling, and maintenance, needs careful consideration. It's a big decision. And speaking of power, while the Halo chips are efficient, the sheer number of these systems in a large data center still adds up to significant energy consumption.
That's a valid concern. Large data centers do require substantial power, and that has environmental implications, especially if that power isn't coming from renewable sources. Even efficient tech in bulk uses a lot of energy.
Right. Straining local energy grids is a real thing in some areas, and the carbon footprint of data centers is something the industry is increasingly trying to address. So, while powerful, it's not a zero-impact solution environmentally.
And with all that valuable media data in these dense storage systems, what about security? Does concentrating data like that in one place increase the risk?
Potentially, if not managed correctly. High-density storage means a lot of data in a smaller physical space, which could theoretically be a more attractive target for cyber attacks. Robust security measures are crucial. Firewalls, encryption, access controls. A breach of sensitive media data, like unreleased films or production details, can have severe consequences.
Absolutely. The stakes are high in the media world, so while the technical capabilities are certainly impressive for things like analyzing vast archives or enabling real-time effects, the implementation requires careful thought about cost, environmental impact, and security.
Precisely. It's not just plug and play, but the potential for enhancing workflows and creating new efficiencies is significant. Imagine automatically generating captions, translating dialogue, even basic editing tasks. The possibilities are expanding.
It makes you think about the future of content creation and distribution. How much will AI influence how shows are made and how we discover them? It's a big question.
It really is. And it prompts questions for listeners too, I think, like how important is real-time video analytics in your world? Maybe not in broadcast, but in other areas.
That's a good one. Or, what do you think is the biggest hurdle to implementing AI in media workflows? Is it the cost, maybe the complexity of the tech, or perhaps environmental concerns?
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear perspectives on that. Also, looking 5 years out, how do you think AI will shift the media industry landscape? Will it be everywhere or more specialized?
Interesting points to consider. Maybe we could even ask listeners for some creative ways they might use AI in their own media projects. Could AI help you with editing, script writing ideas, maybe even generating some visual elements?
Oh, creativity with AI is a space that's buzzing right now. It's moving fast. Perhaps we could do a little quiz sometime on AI applications in media, test people's knowledge on how AI is being used in things like real-time production or content recommendation engines.
That could be fun. And maybe invite call-ins or messages from listeners who have experience implementing AI in their media workflows. Share the successes, share the challenges.
That would be insightful. Hearing from people on the ground, doing the work. And maybe even a short debate segment sometime, the pros and cons of relying heavily on AI for media processing, exploring the ethical angles, the practical upsides and downsides.
A debate would be lively. There's definitely a nuanced conversation to be had about AI in creative industries. So bringing it back to AIC, it sounds like their focus at NAB was definitely on providing the foundational hardware for these advanced AI-driven media workflows, high-density storage, and AI acceleration.
For sure. They're clearly positioning themselves as infrastructure providers, helping make these cutting-edge applications possible, building the data muscles for the future of media.
Well, that was a solid deep dive into AIC's NAB showcase and the broader implications of this technology. Thanks, Mark, for breaking it down.
Anytime, Jenny. Always interesting to see what's under the hood, so to speak. And always fun talking tech with you, even the robot-sounding servers.
Laughs? Agreed. And thanks to everyone for listening, for pondering those questions with us. We'll catch you next time.